there, grief growers, and welcome to another Monday Facebook Live. I'm so excited to be here with you today because I'm talking about the 2019 Bereavement Cruise, which is a very special, exclusive opportunity that I have just found out within the past couple weeks or so that I'm going to be a part of. And it's happening next March 3rd through 10th, 2019, and it's just going to be a glorious kind of, I don't even want to call it a party necessarily, but like it's a huge gathering of people who are grieving and also people who are on vacation. And it's an interesting dichotomy of being given permission to rest, relax, retreat, enjoy life and take time away, and to work on grief and loss and honor our loved ones that are no longer in our lives. And so it's this interesting space of I can enjoy my life and really take hold of it and spend time with the people I love. And also I can still be in searing pain. I can still miss my loved ones. I can still struggle to get through my days. And so I absolutely love what the Bereavement Cruise offers, and I'm really excited to tell you more today about the workshop that I'm going to be offering on board, as well as some of the other presenters that are going to be joining me, as well as, where in the heck we're going on the cruise. So it's very, very exciting. I detailed on the podcast this week that the origins of the Bereavement Cruise lie with Linda Fidley, who owns Morning Discoveries, and with Glenn Lord, who you may know as owning the Grief Toolbox. And these are both grief resources that exist both online and in person. And they've been between them, they've been over to about 300 conferences and grief events in their life. So orchestrating a grief event is something that's not new to them. And between the two of them, Linda Findlay has a past life as a travel coordinator, as a travel agent, and she has orchestrated, there's a sparrow at my window, which is a symbol for my mom. That's very cool, happening right now. But together they have orchestrated this company called Journeys of Hope, Healing, and Health. And this company takes trips in honor of grief, loss, loved ones, and helps people find hope, healing, and health while on these trips. It's an interesting combination of we're going to go on vacation, but we're going to work on ourselves doing it, and we're going to acknowledge the grief and the humanness that they all carry around. So I actually found out about the Bereavement Cruise from one of my podcast guests who is also going on the Bereavement Cruise. Her name is Sharon Ellers, and she is the founder of Grief Reiki out in California, and she's going to be a presenter as well, which is very, very exciting. But she and I did a video on her Facebook page called Grief and Healing Corner, and after our session concluded, she said, "Hey, have you heard of this thing? It's called the Bereavement Cruise. It's setting sail March 3rd through 10th, and I think I'm going to be a presenter." And I said, "That sounds really interesting." But as a grief podcaster and somebody who talks about grief on literally a regular basis, I get contacted to do a lot of things. I've gotten contacted to do, inserts in books. I've gotten contacted to be on other podcasts, to do conferences on podcasting or on grief. I get a lot of opportunities thrown my way, and I seek them out as well. And so I try and I strive to, sign up for things that really resonate with my heart. And as soon as I heard about the Bereavement Cruise, as soon as I got on their website, I got on a call with Linda Fidley and Glenn Lord and heard about their mission, heard about what they're putting together on the Grief and Bereavement Cruise. I was like, I have to be part of this. This is something I cannot say no to. And my listeners, all of you know that, when I start getting chills, I know that something is meant for me. And this is an instance where I'm like, I'm not sure why. I don't know, what's going to happen on this cruise, exactly what my role will be and what I'll learn from doing it, but I need to be a part of this. And so I applied to be a presenter and was accepted along with 17 other presenters on the ship, and I'm going. We're setting sail March 3rd through 10th, 2019, and we're going to be going to Haiti, Labadee, Haley, which is a private island in Haiti just for Royal Caribbean cruise goers, Falmouth, Jamaica, which I believe is also kind of like a segmented section of Jamaica, and Cozumel, Mexico, which I have never been to before, but I've had a lot of family friends go to Mexico and absolutely love it. So in the cold winter of March here in Chicago, I'll be setting sail on a boat and joining all of you, hopefully, who I hope will attend and come on this ship and take the workshop that I'm offering, take the workshops the other presenters are offering, and join in with us during other activities. From what I understand, there are things called Circles of Hope that take place every morning where you meet with people with similar losses and you meet with the same group every day to kind of decompress before the day begins. There are, starlit remembrance walks at nighttime on the upper deck. And if you apply in advance, if you work through Linda Fidley and the other cruise organizers, there's actually moments of time, days when we're out at sea and doing nothing else but being out at sea. There are opportunities that you have that are weather dependent to scatter a loved one's cremains at sea. So if you've held on to someone's cremains and they love the ocean, they love being in the water, they love the idea of taking a trip or of you celebrating your life again, this might be a really wonderful opportunity to send them off, to release their physical body in that way. It's very, very cool to scatter cremains at sea through the Bereavement Cruise, and that's definitely an option if you're going on the ship as well. So logistically, the Bereavement Cruise and its organizers, we're quarantining off, we're sectioning off a block of rooms on this Royal Caribbean cruise. It's not the entire cruise ship, but we are sectioning off a bit of rooms on the Royal Caribbean cruise ship, and we've got a devoted conference room 24/7 for our entire time on the boat. And so that's where all the workshops will be hosted, meditations, yoga practices, a lot of mindfulness workshops and things of that nature. And all you have to do is book your room with the Royal Caribbean, which I highly recommend doing through Linda Fidley. There's no upcharge for her services, and you pay exactly the same as you would by booking through the boat. And then you pay a small Bereavement Cruise conference fee, and then you just go. And I'm going to wait for the siren to pass. Perks of living near a fire station. Okay, and then you pay the Bereavement Cruise conference fee, and for the entire week you're given this itinerary of what's going on, and you can pick and choose, kind of cherry pick the classes, the courses, the workshops that you want to take while on board, and everything else you get to do shore excursions while we're in Haiti and Jamaica and Mexico. You get to go to shows and go to the casino and go down the water slides and the pool, and so it's literally everything that a cruise is, with the addition of saying, hey, there's going to be this undercurrent of grief support and workshops the entire time that you're there. So anytime you feel like you need a little bit more, you need a bit less, you want to see people, you don't necessarily want to see people, you really get the option to choose in that, but there's a massive kind of community available to you here. And I wrote in a Medium post that I just published today that this cruise to me embodies so much of what I teach on coming back, is that grief is this dichotomy of holding your pain, your grief, your loss, the devastation in one hand, and this searing joy, happiness, creativity, and overwhelming, just like living life in the other hand. And so it's a really physical representation, this Bereavement Cruise, of being able to rest, relax, enjoy life, be with other people, and to acknowledge the worst moment or moments of your life. And so I'm very, very excited to be a part of this. I will tell you that the workshop that I'm leading is all about secondary losses. So my role on the ship as a bereavement professional, as a grief professional, is going to be to kind of uproot and find all those losses that you haven't necessarily acknowledged yet. You can say things like, my dad died, or I lost my grandmother, or I got a divorce 2 years ago, or I miscarried a baby, or I lost a pet, or what have you. But like we mentioned so many times in the podcast, there's secondary losses, there's layered losses, there's invisible losses that are always kind of lurking, but attached to these big losses. I always kind of think of it as a chain, all these things that you lose in addition to losing the biggie. And so if you lost a pet, you lose the ritual of going on walks. If you lost a child, you lose the hopes, dreams, expectations that you have for their future. If you lose a parent, you lose future milestones like a wedding. If you lose a spouse, sometimes you have to sell off a home or put your kids in a different school or take on a job. And all of these are secondary, invisible, kind of underlying, unexpected losses that occur as a result of the biggie. And so the first part of the workshop that I'm leading is listing out and acknowledging those losses, maybe discussing them with others and getting ideas for what yours might be. And then the second portion of my workshop is actually something I used to use in the very first stages of Shelby Forsythia LLC, when I used to lead in-person grief release events. And it's called Surrender and Summon Meditation. And it's literally surrendering, putting down, and summoning, bringing up. And so it's putting down all of these losses, these hopes, dreams, expectations, these old ways of being, these rituals that you really didn't want to end, but must, in accordance with the big loss that has happened. And then you take in your new life. It's kind of an exhale, inhale sort of practice. So it's part workshop, worksheet, writing things down, discussing with other people, and part mindfulness, meditation, kind of group zen in this moment of we all have these moments and these times in our lives. We all have these secondary losses. We must exhale and let go along with our big losses. Just let that kind of move down through the floor and be absorbed. And then in addition, we have to, at some point, we acknowledge that we have to bring in this new life. We have to absorb this new life, and we have to be this new way of being, and there is no alternative. We can't go back. Grief is something we can't go back from. So that's the workshop I'll be teaching on the ship. And then, of course, along with myself, you'll see presenters Sharon Ellers of Grief Reiki, like I already mentioned, is going to be presenting. Glenn Lord of the Grief Toolbox is going to be presenting. Linda Fidley of Morning Discoveries, Linda Fell, who published the famous Grief Diaries series, and then another gentleman by the name of, Mitch Carmody, who runs the organization or the YouTube channel called Mr. Heartlight, and I hear he's just a very pleasant man to be around. But so many of us, there's going to be 18 of us presenting on this ship, and then of course all of you who are coming to take the courses, learn the skills, and just find this community on board out in the middle of the ocean and do these shore excursions and other activities with us as well. So I'm very excited. I've never done anything like this before in my life, and I'm just really, really thrilled to get started. If you're looking for more information, and this is really the point to tune into in the video, go to www.comingbackcruise.com. They were so gracious as to give me my own link that I could say here and on the podcast, www.comingbackcruise.com, and it'll reroute you to a form where you can apply to receive more information. This is not you committing to the cruise or booking a ticket or making any kind of down payment. This is just, I'm interested and I want more information. I have March 3rd through 10th, 2019 free, and I'm thinking about going. Let's see about going. If you're not quite ready to fill out that form yet and you want more FAQ, if you want testimonials, if you want, yeah. Darwin says you'll have a captive audience. Congratulations. I know. We're on a cruise ship together. You cannot leave. That's a riot. I didn't even think about that. But if you would like more information on the cruise, the people going, testimonials from people who've gone on the cruise before, because the Bereavement Cruise is now in its 3rd year, you can go to my website, www.shelbyforsythia.com, and at the upper kind of announcement bar up there, it says, join me on the 2019 Bereavement Cruise. And you can click on that and it'll take you to a page that I've created that's got FAQ, it's got pictures, it's got testimonials on YouTube videos from other people who have been on the cruise in the past, and you can really find a lot of answers all in one place there. And then at the bottom, once again, it will take you to www.comingbackcruise.com, where you can apply to receive more information about the cruise and get in touch with Linda Findley herself. There's no really tertiary in between. She is the organizer for this cruise, and you can get information on pricing and tickets and cost and passports and what do I wear and what do I bring and can I take pets and can I take kids and all these other questions that I might necessarily not have the answers to. And I will tell you, full disclosure, I am paying to go on this cruise just like everyone else is paying to go on this cruise. So presenters don't necessarily get a free ride like everyone else does. Their conference fee is waived, but that's $300 of about the $1,100 to $2,000 depending on what type of room that you choose on the boat that you pay. So I'm paying out of pocket to go to this event, to be around all of you and to have this experience, because it just meant so much to me to be able to go, to be accepted and to be able to go. I tell you over and over again, I got so many chills learning about what this experience is, how it moves people, how it makes people feel that are on the cruise. And so I'm paying out of my own pocket to go. And I really, really hope that you'll join me on the 2019 Bereavement Cruise, March 3rd through 10th. We're setting sail from Florida, so you book your flight there and your flight home, and then you get on the boat and you go. And I'm very, very excited to get a tan with you, but to also address your losses and some of these secondary losses and just hold space, create physical space to hug you, to see some of you grief growers live and in person would just mean so much to me and my heart. I'd be so thrilled to see you in person with me as we take grief to the open seas. Thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. As always, if you have any questions, I'm Shelby at shelbyforsythia.com if you'd like to shoot me an email. Also, www.comingbackcruise.com and www.shelbyforsythia.com, and click the little announcement bar at the top for the Bereavement Cruise. I cannot wait to set sail with you. I see you. I am so proud of you and the work that you're doing in the world. And I love you. Because even through grief, we are growing and sailing. Bye.